Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast and welcome to Special Teams Sunday. So every Sunday we get together and we have a look at some of the best unofficial teams in Blood Bowl. Now Blood Bowl is the best board game out there. It's a board game miniature war game hybrid, which means by looking at unofficial teams, you can add modelling opportunities and gameplay opportunities out there. There's a great amount of official Blood Bowl teams, and there's the two NAF expanded ones as well. But there's even more out there, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be having a look at those on the Sundays show. So the team we've got for you today is one of my favourites. It's the Tzeentch team. So you've got Chaos Chosen. You've got Nurgle, which are kind of a Nurgly version of Chaos Chosen. Now, the Tzeentch team here is a Tzeentch version of the Chaos team, basically. So, it's Chaos with a twist, and this one's got such a very cool twist. So, the Tzeentch is the god of deception and change and lies and cunning and mutations. So, I think you got a pretty good idea of what's coming up. So, we actually saw this team in play in a couple of tournaments that we had during lockdown. And it was awesome to see. I got to commentate on a few of these, and just seeing the big hands and the familiars and the cool stuff at play was really exciting. And I have got a half-built team of this description, which I was working on just before the new edition dropped. Anyway, let's have a look at the Tzeentch team from FUMBBL Secret League. So imagine if you took the Chaos team and you added tiny little dudes. That isn't right. That isn't right at all. Pardon me. So imagine you took the Chaos roster and you added a teeny tiny stunty positional to it. And then you made that positional the lineman. So it's a really interesting team here with a really interesting build opportunities. You get 0 to 16 familiars. These guys are basically 30k boosted snotlings. They've got some cool skills and they've got some cool stuff going on, but they are strength 1 little dudes. Stunty, dodge, titchy, that kind of thing. They give this team cheap chaff to be able to afford some very cool positionals. Now we've got Zangors who come in at 80k a piece. Horns, they're your Beastman piece. They've got some special mutation skills as well. Then you've got the Tzeentch Warriors, who are just Chaos Warriors, but they've got Hypno Gaze and extra arms. So they actually pick up the ball on a 2+. You've got a Strength 4 piece that's picking up the ball on a 2+. Now, Hypno Gaze is not going to work all the time with Agility 3 pieces, but still really good fun. But honestly, this is one of the most fun pieces out there, and it is the Changeling. 130k for a big guy. And at the beginning of the game, you roll a dice. It might be a Minotaur, it might be an Ogre, it might be a Troll. Now, that is such a unique challenge. What skill do you give it? Do you save? How do you work this? Now, before we go on, we should just point out that this is the 2016 rule set on FUMBBL still, so you won't have a passing stat here, and the way that League develops is slightly different. We don't have the finished rosters for Blood Bowl 2020 yet for these teams, but we will dive into them as soon as they drop. Anyway, let's move on to the positionals. So the familiars are the linemen of this team. They are movement 6, strength 1, ag 3, armor 6, stunty, titchy, dodge, right stuff, and foul appearance. This is such a cool but weird positional. 30k is an awful lot for a snotling. Now this is a weird positional. It's kind of like a strength and armor busted goblin, or a movement and armor boosted snotling is probably the way to look at it. And if you kind of rephrase it as +1 movement, +1 armor for a snotling for, in this edition, plus 10k, that's an absolute bargain. As we go into 2020, I don't know if these guys are going to stay at 30k. If they do, twice the price for a snotling might be a bit tough. However, these guys run around using that 2++ dodge ability to just get right where you need them. Now, Ag 3 gives you a solid 3+ chance to pick up the ball most of the time anyway, but being able to be there to be, they assist when you need them to be, and all that kind of stuff just works out so well. Now, the really beautiful thing here is that they've got foul appearance. Foul appearance is an underrepresented skill. It's easy to forget. Just go watch Season 2 of 7 Super Series and you'll see us repeatedly forget the skill. But these guys are Strength 3, and generally speaking, if you punch them, they explode with a monumental death. Foul appearance is going to save them 1 in 6 times, and it comes up brilliantly. And if you play on FUMBBL, it chucks out this weird noise, which is just, it just stays with you, which is quite remarkable. Yeah, and if that ports over to Blood Bowl 2020, being able to blitz these guys and failing on a roll of a 1 and not being able to move is going to be absolutely horrific. Anyway, coming in at 30k, agility and mutation. There's a couple of things you can do with these guys. You can give them horns, you can do that kind of thing. I think just being able to use these as movement 6, 2+ dodges everywhere is really good. They've got right stuff, so if your Changeling happens to take the appearance of an ogre or a troll in your game, you can even throw them. Then you've got the Tzeentch. Now the Tzeentch are the Tzeentch version of the Beastmen. They are movement 6, strength 3, edge 3, armor 8, horns, and then we get some sweet skills. So Beastman is 60k, so that's the Beastman lineup. 20k, you get access to mutations on a general, everything but agility on a general, and then you get extra arms and big hand. Now this was the thing for the team that just made it gel together. We were doing commentary, me and I think Matt's BBL, and the ball ended up in like 4 tackle zones, and we're thinking, wow, how's he going to recover this? This is going to be really interesting. This Tzeentch just blitzes a dude, goes onto the ball, and big hand ignores all tackle zones. Extra arms gives you +1 to pick up. That is with agility 3, that's a 2+ forever. This Tzeentch just ran in, punched a dude at strength 4, picked up the ball on a 2. On a 2+. This gives this team such an opportunity to get the ball whenever, wherever. It is really unique. Okay, we've all seen gutter runners do stupid stuff and they jump in there and they do these things and they pull them off on a roll of a 5. This guy doesn't need to. He can blitz at strength 4 and then just pick up the ball on a 2+. It is awesome to see. Now, armor 8 is great. Strength 3 is great. Horns is always a great skill. Having that extra arms and that big hand means they're catching and picking up the ball on that 2+. And big hand means they ignore absolutely everything. It is incredibly useful. And we've got the Warriors too. So these guys are your Chaos Warriors, but they are the favoured of Tzeentch. So 0 to 4 of these guys, 120k, general strength mutation on a normal as well. Movement 5, strength 4, edge 3, armor 9, classic Chaos Warrior stats. But these guys have hypnotic gaze for free, basically, and extra arms. So they're also picking up the ball on a 2+. They're also catching the ball on a 2+. And when they want to go for it, they can use that hypno gaze to distract your opponent. Hypnogaze got better in the new edition. I know it's going to be, what, like a 4+ roll to do it. However, them being able to turn off block on a dude or dodge on a dude using Hypnogaze in the new edition is going to mean these guys are even more useful. But quite frankly, just being able to pick up the ball and catch the ball on a 2+ while you're all running around at speed 5 with strength 4 is just going to be awesome. Think about it. You can get 4 of these guys on your roster, a couple of Pestigors, a couple of Tzeentch. You're going to be in a great position because that's a ton of strength, that's a ton of combat potential, and just being able to free rolled that 2+ pickup is just so good. And there's this guy, the Changeling. So the Changeling is it's a very Tzeentch thing. Tzeentch is all about change and trickery and mutating between things. Simply this guy coming in and being a troll sometimes, an ogre sometimes, and a minotaur sometimes is really cool. And it's 130k. So if it stays 130k, even if it doesn't stay 130k, it's 20k cheaper than a Minotaur. It's 10k cheaper than an Ogre, and it is, what, 20k more expensive than a Troll. And it comes with Pro as well. So it's a really interesting positional. Basically, every single game, it's going to be a random big guy. You can't rely on anything with this team, and that's what's so cool about it. You cannot rely on the Changeling. It's going to be different stuff. One game, it's going to be a pro troll that's going to be just doing troll things. Maybe it can throw a guy. Another game, it's going to be storming around as a Minotaur. Such a cool piece, and the fact it's got pro is great, and I really do think that this piece gets even better when it will transition into Blood Bowl 2020. The troll got better, generally speaking. It got that cheeky vomit ability. That's going to be really useful. Pro is going to keep him active on a 3+. It's going to be able to re-roll whatever you failed. Minotaurs are just always great though, aren't they? This is a really cool positional and allows you to have up to 3 different models for your team. Oh dear. So when it comes to a starting roster for this team, you've got a real mix of stuff. If you want to run the cool things, which I do recommend because it's the most fun parts of the team, you take the Changeling, 4 of your warriors, you get 2 Tzeentch as well, and 4 familiars, takes you up to 11. Your first couple of games are going to leave you a little bit vulnerable with those familiars, but because they're 30k, you can buy them up as you go. Now, the other thing you can do is drop that Changeling and take a ton more familiars. So actually, the 4 warriors, 2 Tzeentch, a ton of familiars, and a couple of rerolls is not bad. The fun way to play is 2 rerolls, the Changeling, the 4 warriors, the 2 Tzeentch, and 4 familiars. It's just an absolute mix mash of a team, and it depends what you want to do. If you're willing to just suck it up with 4 little guys for a few games before you can build up your bench, that's fine. You can drop a warrior, get 4 extra familiars instead. Might be the way to go. But there's so many different iterations of this team that it's actually really difficult to give advice. This is the one that is on FUMBBL, which I like, and actually I think this is the one we saw running the tournament to start with. The tournament was an expansion one, so it had standard league rules, so basically that coach was able to buy familiars to pick up the bench to about 13, then save up to expand on Tzeentch. Dropping the Changeling, picking up a reroll, and then 2 extra familiars is also another way of going. So 3 rerolls, 4 warriors, 2 Tzeentch, no Changeling there, and 2 familiars, I think, takes you to 12 players. You lose a ton of strength, you lose your big guy, but you get that reroll to start with. So if you're doing a league situation, that's probably not bad. So building this team is going to be an absolute joy for anybody that likes chaos and modeling. So this here is the Chaos Familiar box set from Games Workshop. I'm not sure if they still produce it. I picked one of these up a little while ago, and it's a mixture of familiars, and these familiars are Chaos familiars of old. If you don't have access to this, all you've got to do is find a bunch of cool Chaos familiars. There's been some ones that came out in some of the Warhammer Quest games. You can just get them. They come with Chaos boxes. You can just get Snotlings and paint them weird colours, give them extra arms. It really doesn't matter. They're just cool Strength 1 players. And on top of that, you've got to find some Tzeentch. Not difficult to do. Buy a box of Chaos. You've got Beastmen. Maybe do some mutations, maybe don't, maybe just paint them blue. You've got Chaos Warriors, you can convert them as much as you like. I used Thousand Suns Space Marines heads for mine, gave them that kind of Tzeentch look, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. Not enough for me to paint it. And then you've got the Changeling, and there's really a couple of different ways you can do the Changeling. You can get the Changeling miniature from Games Workshop for Age of Sigmar. It's this flowing wizard looking kind of thing. I picked one of those up because I really wanted the model and it gave me an excuse to do so. Or you can just grab an ogre and a troll and a minotaur, or just use your favourite one and again chuck on extra arms, give it some gribbly eyes, pick up a chaos spawn, use that. It doesn't matter. There's one big guy on this team, and the rules are going to change for it each game, that's fine. But when you're playing a game of Blood Bowl, a full game of Blood Bowl, you're going to be sitting down with your opponent and be like, this guy is an ogre for this game. We've all played in leagues and tournaments where a model that is not an ogre is being used as an ogre because it's a cool third-party model. It's not difficult. The big guy is the ogre, and that's cool. And that's why I really love this team as well. It's got some cool positionals. It's got cool familiars. You've got that Tzeentch change element to it. You've got that OP-ness of that 2+ picking up the ball anywhere. It's just wicked. Like, just running a dude onto the ball and pick it up on a 2+ is so good. It's just like, this is mine now. It's a fantastic feeling. And then you've got these little guys who are a little bit more expensive than you'd expect at 30k. But over the course of a league, you're going to get a few of them in spare, and you can just run around fouling, you can throw them at people, you can just be really useful. And that 2+ dodge ability to get anywhere they want is going to turn off your opponent's assists and give you extra ones when you need them. You're not going to need them very often because your core guys are going to be Strength 3, Strength 4, Strength 5. You're going to be doing great chaos things with some funny little dudes as well. It's a really fun team. This needs to be in Blood Bowl. It is different than every other team. It is like a stronger chaos with weaker linemen. It's really interesting team. I really recommend it. It's on the FUMBBL Secret League. If you can't get a game, message me. We will play a game because I love playing with and against this team, and we should get some more Secret League stuff underway. I'm waiting for it to transfer over to Blood Bowl 2020 because then we're going to go big into Secret League. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you so much for watching. I love going through these teams. It's just fun to see. Do let me know in the comments what other teams you want to see. You guys have been messaging and putting some good suggestions in there. We looked at the Araby team. I think someone said, Ben, you keep mentioning Tzeentch. Actually do Tzeentch. So guys, we did Tzeentch. Go to FUMBBL, have a look. Send me in your homebrew teams. Stephen Knowles, I've got a list of yours to come to eventually as well. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.